Good evening, this is the Northern Sun Experience. I'm David Brown, and the Viking ship appears to be on course once again. For the past 6 seasons, the Augustana Vikings have captured the NSIC Women's Golf Championship, including the last 4 individual medalists. Augie looking to get out to an early lead to capture a 7th straight title at Madden's on Gull Lake in Brainerd, Minnesota. A beautiful, picturesque couple of fall days for the golfers. Just like the men's championship, each team brought 5 golfers, only there were 12 NSIC teams competing on the women's side, as opposed to just 10 teams on the men's side. And last year's individual medalist is going for a 2nd straight championship. Augustana's Sierra Langley shot a first-round 74 and a second-round 78 to finish atop the leaderboard at 8 over par. Here's a look at your top 5. Langley with a 3-shot lead over Concordia St. Paul's Savannah Stone, who sits at plus 11. Langley's teammate Marissa Toivonen is 3rd at 12 over. St. Cloud State's Laurel Enstrom is 4th at 13 over. And another Viking, Jordan Borman, is in 5th place at 14 over par. Afterwards, Langley said the course played to her strengths.
I think the course is in really good shape right now. I mean, it's beautiful out here. Greens are running a little quick, but that's always nice, a good little challenge, but I think it's in perfect shape. I think overall I was hitting the ball pretty well and putting pretty well.
Now, as far as team standings are concerned, it's no surprise that with 3 of the current top 5 individual finishers, Augustana leads the overall team standings. The Vikings are in first place with a collective 623, 47 over par, and it's a lead that won't be easy to catch as second place Concordia St. Paul sits a whopping 32 shots back. Minnesota State, St. Cloud State, and Southwest Minnesota State round out the top 5. The spring portion of the Women's Golf Championship will take place on April 23rd and 24th, 2016 at the Dakota Ridge Golf Club in Morton, Minnesota. Well, from the green to the gridiron, and Minnesota State has put the clamps down after the first half. The Mavericks have yet to give up a single point in the second half of a game this season through the first 5 contests. It allowed MSU to overcome a 17-point deficit in the season opener against Minnesota Duluth and maintain a lead in the 4 games after that. They faced their biggest challenge since that season opener against UMD as they welcomed Augustana to Blakesley Stadium. First quarter, Ricky Lloyd off play action finds Kyle Riggett for the touchdown 37 yards out, and the Mavs take an early 7-0 lead. 7-3 now near the end of the first. Lloyd hits Ty Dennis on a short out, and he does the rest, taking it down the sidelines 50 yards. 14-3 Minnesota State after 1. Second quarter, Lloyd and Dennis hook up again, this time over the middle. 17-yard strike, and it's 21-3. But the Vikings wouldn't go away quietly. CJ Hain with a 4-yard run to make it 21-10. It's 21-13 at halftime, and in the third, Trey Hyde finds Charlie Hayes' 3-yard score, cuts the lead down to 1 at 21-20, but that's as close as Augie would get. MSU's other quarterback, Nick Piracini, stretches for the 4-yard touchdown to make it 28-20, and then it's Connor Thomas, the Mavs' all-time leading rusher, adding to his total. 6-yard run makes it 35-20, a valiant effort by the Vikings. Minnesota State tops Augustana 35-27. Let's check in on the other undefeated, Sioux Falls hosting Winona State. Coup up 24-17 in the second when Luke Papillion finds Eric Albeck. 16-yard strike, 31-17 USF at the break. It's 31-23 when Papillion airs it out again. This time the Josh Angulo 25-yard pitch and catch makes it 38-23. Plenty of points in this one. And then it's Papillion to Brady Rose at the end of the third, 40 yards out. The junior quarterback had a career-high 413 yards and 5 touchdowns as the Coup topped the Warriors 51-30. Well, when we come back on the Northern Sun Experience, more football highlights, including an overtime clash between Minot State and UMary.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. And the experience has not really been a pleasant one so far for our resident North Dakota teams. Heading into their Saturday matchup, Minot State and UMary had a combined 0-10 record. But as the cliche goes, throw those record books out the window because the two schools squared off in the battle for the Big Lake Trophy. No score into the third when the Marauders finally break through. Zach Graves finds some room and doesn't stop churning. 36-yard score, 2-point conversion no good, 6-0 UMary. Beavers strike back in the fourth. Charles Hall with a short plunge, extra point is good, 7-6 Minot State. We'd go to overtime tied at 9, but the Beavers would walk off with win number 1 on this Jarvis Mustafer 2-yard run. Minot State tops UMary 15-9. To Minnesota we go. Bemidji State at Minnesota Crookston. First quarter, Tahi No Main says, yes, Maine. 19-yard touchdown, 7-0 Beavers. It's 21-0 now in the second. Jordan Hine rolling out. He'll find Christian Lundy in the back of the end zone from 7 yards out. 28-zip Bemidji State. Later in the quarter, Hine takes it himself on the read option. 23-yard score, 34-0 at halftime. And Bemidji State goes on to win 41-7 over Minnesota Crookston. Continuing east, Minnesota Duluth looking for its third in a row against St. Cloud State. Up 13-12 when Drew Bauer finds Bo Bofferding, who carries some Huskies into the end zone. 49 yards, 20-12 Bulldogs. Move to the third, first play out of the break. Brent Stiglich in the right spot at the right time. Corrals the ricochet, goes 22 yards the other way. 27-12 UMD. Bulldogs add to their lead later on this 7-yard run by Bauer. It's 34-12 heading into the fourth, but the Huskies fight back. Nate Meyer drops it right into the breadbasket of Jamison Parsons. 2-pointer makes it 34-20. A few minutes later, Meyer finds Grant Thayer for the 15-yard score to make it 34-27. St. Cloud State has one final chance at the end to tie it, but Meyer's fourth down pass is broken up, and Minnesota Duluth holds on 34-27. Let's head south. Concordia St. Paul taking on Upper Iowa. First quarter, Dimitri Morales to Jalen Amos, 22 yards, and the Peacocks grab an early lead. 5 minutes later, it's famous Amos once again, this time from 16 yards out, and it's 14-0 Upper Iowa. Ensuing kickoff, however, Concordia's luck starts to turn. Alquan Vickers, he had a 99-yard kickoff return against Minot State a few weeks ago. This one's 8 yards shorter, but still impressive. He finds some space off the right side. 91-yard kickoff return cuts the lead in half. Later in the first, Golden Bears get even closer. Darius Chapes gets in from 9 yards out, but the extra point was blocked, so it's still a 14-13 Peacock lead, and they would not relinquish it. Morales with the great fake on the pitch to get in for the score, and then a little bit later, he'll go up top to Jared Edmonds in the back corner of the end zone. Upper Iowa expands its 1-point lead and then some, taking down Concordia St. Paul 52-20. Southwest Minnesota State hoping to bounce back at Wayne State, and they did so in a big way. Blake Gimble to Raphael Lawson-Gale, 46 yards, 14-3 Mustangs, and the route was on after that. End of the first half, the Mustangs block the punt, and Dallin Finley corrals it, returns at 42 yards. SMSU set a school record with 47 first-half points, and they go on to win over Wayne State 61-3. Finally, back in South Dakota, MSU Moorhead at Northern State. First quarter, Demetrius Carr up top, Damon Gibson coming on down, 17 yards, and the Dragons have a 7-0 lead. Second quarter now on 4th and goal, Carr decides to take it himself. The extra point is blocked, but MSUM has a 13-0 lead. But the Wolves would score 34 unanswered. Zach Barber somehow corrals this touchdown, getting sandwiched between Dragon defenders to cut the lead to 13-7. Third quarter now, Northern State gets tricky. The reverse to Tyrell Anderson, who takes it the rest of the way. 26 yards, and the Wolves tie things up at 13. Northern State would break the tie just minutes later. Nick Truen finds a wide open space and runs right through it. 64 yards to the house. The Wolves have a 20-13 lead. And Channing Barber would put the exclamation point on this one with this 75-yard pick six. Northern State tops MSU Moorhead 48-26. The Dragons have lost 3 in a row. But despite the losing streak for the team, it was a milestone streak for a member of the MSU Moorhead athletic department on Saturday. Larry Scott, the team's current radio analyst, worked his 500th consecutive game for the Dragons. The longtime sports information director, affectionately known as Scotty, has been to every MSUM game since 1967.
Certainly I never, set out to do that when I was a younger sports information director, but it's a lot of lady luck and a lot of good fortune. I've had a lot of very supportive coaches, bosses that have allowed me to do this, and it's something I've thoroughly enjoyed. I know a lot of sports information people don't have that opportunity anymore, so I'm certainly grateful for that.
Congrats once again to Larry. Looking at the national poll for the second straight week, not a whole lot of movement at the top. Minnesota State stays number 1 in both the D2Football.com and AFCA coaches poll. Sioux Falls doesn't budge in either poll as well, staying at number 4 and number 5 respectively. Minnesota Duluth, however, moves up to number 12 in the D2Football.com poll, while moving up to number 21 in the coaches poll. Looking ahead to this upcoming Saturday in the NSIC, we start at noon with Minnesota State hoping to move to 7-0, visiting Concordia St. Paul. At 1, Minot State visits St. Cloud State, while Upper Iowa travels to Winona State. Northern State looks to make it 3 in a row at Minnesota Crookston. Wayne State makes the short trip north to Sioux Falls to take on Augustana. And at 2, it's a couple of 500 teams with 3-3 Bemidji State at 3-3 MSU Moorhead. At 2:30, Minnesota Duluth visits UMary, and the game of the week is 6-0 Sioux Falls at 5-1 Southwest Minnesota State. Each team put up 50+ this weekend, so there should be plenty of offensive fireworks. When we come back, some big shakeups in the top 25 of NSIC volleyball as the number 1 team in the nation goes through a rough week.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. For the past month, Minnesota Duluth has been at the top of the national volleyball polls, and why wouldn't they be? Ever since the Bulldogs topped defending champion Tampa in early September, UMD's been riding high with a 13-2 overall record. But that would all come to a head last Tuesday against Concordia St. Paul. Mariah Scharf gets the kill early on for the Bulldogs, and then it's Taylor Wisbrocker after that. But the Golden Bears proved to be a thorn in UMD's side. Mariah Sampson gets the kill, and at match point, Scharf would hit it out of bounds for UMD. Concordia tops Minnesota Duluth 3-1 on Tuesday. And the road wouldn't get any easier for UMD on Friday at SMSU. Scharf at it once again for the Bulldogs with the kill. But the Mustangs, like the Golden Bears earlier in the week, were up to the challenge. Megan Larson sets up Taylor Reese for the kill, and then it's another great setup by Larson, this time to Aisha Oden. SMSU would prevail in 5 with a 3-2 victory. UMD would top Sioux Falls on Saturday, but overall, a losing week for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, Concordia used its momentum from the UMD win and carried it over to the weekend. Emma Lang on the kill here. And then it's Riley Hansen and Lang teaming up for the block against UMary. They topped the Marauders 3-0 on Friday, and they topped Minot State 3-0 on Saturday. Another top 10 team doing well this weekend, Northern State taking on Upper Iowa. Peacocks got it going with kills by Bethany Lovehaug and Jennifer Munt, but then the Wolves take over on both ends. First, it's Kelsey Chambers with the throwdown, and then a little bit later in the match, Carrie McGarvey with the block. Northern State tops Upper Iowa 3-1, and they also beat Winona State on Saturday by that same 3-1 margin. Augustana took on Minnesota Crookston on Friday. This is Ashley Wilson on the block for the Vikings. Later in the match, it's Brittany Check. Check it out. Big kill down the line. And finally, it's Lauren Waite with the hammer as the Vikings take care of the Golden Eagles 3-0. Taking a look at this week's National Volleyball poll, and there's a big change at the top. Minnesota Duluth has been dethroned at number 1 by Concordia St. Paul. The Golden Bears received 23 first-place votes to take the top spot. Meanwhile, Southwest Minnesota State also moves up in the polls to number 4 on the heels of their big win over UMD. The Bulldogs fall all the way to 5th after losing to those 2 teams above them. Northern State continues its climb to the top, moving from number 8 to number 6, while also receiving 6 first-place votes. Wayne State also moved up 1 spot to number 9, so the NSIC officially has 5 of the top 9 teams in Division II. Augustana stays put at number 20, while Winona State is at 25. Well, let's switch gears to soccer now, and once again, let's give some love to Minot State. The Beavers had won 6 in a row heading into this last week of play, and they got started on a great foot with a 1-1 tie against Minnesota State, who was the preseason conference favorite. And they were hoping to build off of that momentum on Sunday at Concordia St. Paul. 10th minute, Chloe Melton with the cross to Ninfa Ramirez for the goal, her 10th of the year, and the Beavers take a 1-0 lead. After that, Minot State's defense would take over. Erica Lantry tries to kick it in for Concordia, but she is blocked. And then Minot State keeper Celine Johnson blocks yet another attempt. The Beavers hang on for the 1-0 win, and they finally crack the national top 25. They are at number 21 this week, so congratulations to them. Meanwhile, another team hoping to crack that top 25, Augustana, was at Minnesota Duluth on Sunday. Marissa Gansky led UMD in shots, but she's kept out here by Taylor McCotchick. Later in the match, it's McCotchick stopping the long shot by Kaylee Beat. We would be scoreless until the 67th minute, when Stephanie Stevens is finally able to knock it home, her 4th goal of the year. Augie wins 1-0, and they are now number 25 in the poll. Coming up next, we go under the Northern Sun at Wayne State College.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. It's time to shine the spotlight on one of our member schools with a feature we like to call Under the Northern Sun. Tonight, it's Wayne State College in Wayne, Nebraska, which provides modern academic resources for today's modern student athletes.
For more than 100 years, Wayne State College has been devoted to student success and regional service. But Wayne State is best known for its friendly atmosphere, exceptional academic reputation, success of our graduates, and affordability. The Wayne State family is made up of 123 full-time faculty, 85 part-time, and 30 graduate assistants, with an enrollment of 3,513 students. Education continues to be the most popular major at Wayne State, where students are provided with valuable opportunities for hands-on teaching experience. Business, criminal justice, and pre-professional are other popular programs at Wayne State College. Wayne State has been a member of the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference since 1998 and has excelled both academically and athletically at the NCAA Division II level. Wayne State teams have won 34 regular season and NSIC tournament titles, while advancing to NCAA postseason play 29 times. Academically, Wayne State student athletes also excel, with the school producing at least one academic All-American in each of the last 10 years. Right now, let's meet two of Wayne State's student athletes.
My name is Lisa McClintock. I am from Sioux City, Iowa. I am a senior setter on the Wayne State College volleyball team, majoring in exercise science.
I'm John Davis. I'm a senior safety for the Wayne State College football team from Webster City, Iowa, and I am a pre-med chemical health science major.
The Wayne State College size is really great. Not only do you get volleyball, we get 14 sisters if we have 14 teammates, but we get involved in the community a lot. So it's not just your teammates that you get to associate with, but the community. The whole community is just supporting you, whether you're a student athlete or not. They're out there to see you excel.
When I visited here, I really liked the guys. Honestly, you could tell they cared about each other. There was a real family atmosphere. I had a great time on my visit, and I really liked the school, and they had what I wanted to go into, so that's why I chose Wayne State. It's cool being a Division II student athlete. The kids in the community really look up to you. They know who you are if you walk around. They give you high fives going down the tunnel. It's just real cool that the community gets behind you and help up the community back sometimes too as well. It's a real family here at Wayne State.
Wayne State College is the only public college or university in Nebraska to receive recognition the last 3 years in the U.S. News and World Report Annual College Guides, the Washington Monthly College Guide and Rankings, and Colleges of Distinction. Wayne State College is a comprehensive college devoted to freedom of inquiry, excellence in teaching and learning, and regional service and development.
Coming up next, it's DB's Picks, my top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. It's time for DB's Picks, my top 5 plays or moments of the past week in the NSIC. At number 5, we head to Aberdeen, where Zach Barber cuts it close against MSU Moorhead. The Northern State back somehow makes the touchdown catch in traffic sandwiched between Dragon defenders. Barber gets it by a hair, nearly gest chopped, whatever hairstylist pun you want to use, he's a cut above at number 5. For number 4, we go to Duluth, where Bo Bofferding refuses to let go. He corrals the Drew Bauer pass at the 20 and just keeps on churning until he gets to the end zone. Here it is again. Bo knows how to catch, Bo knows how to score, and he also knows his touchdown may have made the difference in a 7-point victory over St. Cloud State. Bo knows winning at number 4. At number 3, we head back to Aberdeen, where Tyrell Anderson moves forward on the reverse, going 26 yards for the touchdown. Check it out again. Anderson gets some great blocking and has a clean path to the end zone for 6. The Wolves topped Minnesota State Moorhead by 3 touchdowns, and Anderson's score ends up at play number 3. For number 2, we congratulate Augustana's Sierra Langley for being well on her way to a second straight NSIC golf championship. The Viking sophomore has a 3-shot lead for individual medalist honors after the fall portion of the competition. She won it as a freshman last year and hasn't slowed down a year later. She'll have to wait until spring to see if she captures title number 2, but for right now she'll get number 2 of my top 5. But our number 1 play of the week has to go to Scotty. 2015 NSIC Hall of Fame inductee Larry Scott worked his 500th straight MSU Moorhead game dating back to 1967. Through good times and bad, rain or shine, snow or sleet, Scotty's taken on the post office creed and always delivered. That's why he gets the number 1 play of the week. For all of us at Midcoast Sports Network, we'll see you next week on The Experience.